Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing another graphics card. This one is the RX 580, the Red Devil edition from Power Color. It's got 8 gig of VRAM, and this particular card is based on the GCN architecture. So we've done a GCN architecture card before. That would be the the R9 290 Vapor X edition. And I personally I really do like that card. It's a good solid card for 1080p, middle of the road to low settings type of deal, unless you're going to do, like uh, uh, MOBAs or stuff like that, then you can max out, be all right. So anyway, this particular card has a clock speed of 1425 megahertz and a memory clock of 2000 megahertz. The MSRP for the base model was $230 USD. However, this card came in at $250. At the particular time of this recording, I went on eBay to check and see what the cards are going for. If you're lucky, you can get a card for as low as $350 USD. However, this is not the rule. It seems to me that most of the cards that I see that are not broken are going between $400 and $500. In a different market, I'd say do not buy one at this price. However, any card that plays 1080p at this point is pretty solid if you can buy it and you know it's going to work. I would say that it's not worth your money, but at the same time, it's going to do the trick. So get it if you want it. So as before, I will be testing this GPU on my daily system, a Ryzen 9 3900X with PBO enabled, 16 gig of RAM at 3000 megahertz, an F clock at 1500 megahertz to match the RAM, and of course, we'll be on the latest drivers. And finally, all the benchmarks here will be run at 1080p. All the videos that you will see of gameplay will be recorded separately from the benchmark sessions. Anyway, disclaimers out of the way, let's get to the results. First, let's start with CSGO. CSGO had an average frame rate of 276.6 frames per second, which is plenty in my opinion if you're going to do 1080p. This is also at max settings, of course. At a 1% low of 142.3 frames per second and a 0.1% low of 23.8. Now, here's the weird thing about that 23.8 metric. This only happens when you die and you basically go to start back over at the beginning of the next level. So I don't necessarily say that this particular 1% low is something you're going to really notice, because it just happens when you die. You don't notice it. I didn't notice it at all. The game felt incredibly smooth to me. So, on to the next. Here in Elder Scrolls Online, the average frame rate was a 74.2 frames per second. The 1% low was a 45 frames per second, and the 0.1% lows was 38.8 frames per second. Overall, the gameplay experience was very smooth. I did not notice very many hitches, just general online stuff. That's what's going to come with an online game. And I have no complaints over the Red Devil. It does a great job knocking this game out. It is an older game, but still fun. So I added a new game to this benchmark, and it is Far Cry 6. Yes, I have Far Cry 6. And so that will be a game that is going to be in the metric, unless somebody is like, nah, try this game. This is a better representation of what we like to play. That being said, the average frame rate of this thing was 68.8. So we're getting 60 frames per second at high detail settings. The 1% low was 53 frames per second, and the 0.1% low was 27 frames per second. Consistency between the 68.8 and the 53, really good. That 27 there's one frame right when you start the benchmark. Well, it's not one frame, but there's several frames in a row right when you start that benchmark that you can see and physically feel that 0.1% low. On to The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 ran 59.2 frames per second. The 1% low was 52.9, and the 0.1% low was 46.4. All of those are real close to each other. They ran really good. I ran this same run over and over because I kind of expected it to be worse, but it just was so smooth and it honestly did better than I expected. And finally, we got Cyberpunk 2077. So the average frame rate was 49.8 frames, the 1% low, 39.3, and the 0.1% low, 33.8. So good news, we never dipped below 30 frames a second, and it was a pretty smooth experience overall. I've got notes. Where already go? We're already through that one. Okay, on to this one. So, is this card still good in 2021? I would say yes, especially if you're going to play at 1080p. And according to the Steam hardware survey, most people still are. So, yeah, it's not too bad. If you can find one that's $400 or less and you really want a good solid card, I say go for it. You may have to adjust settings, obviously, in some of the crazy AAA games like Cyberpunk 2077. You have to adjust the settings to get the frame rate that you're looking for, but that's okay, honestly. Who the hell needs to play at Ultra on Cyberpunk, anyways? It is such a gorgeous game, even on medium, really. Let's see what else I got going on here. Try not to go for the blower model if you can. They run a little hot, from what I understand. I don't have one personally, but I'm sure you can find a YouTube video out there where there is somebody running one of those and they run warm. So definitely try to get one that is not the blower model. I would also like to try some like the RX 480, which is the older brother to the 580. But we'll see if we can get that to happen. As a side note, I've been thinking about including 1440p. Now, I understand that there's not a lot of people who play at 1440p, but if you do want that to happen in my future videos, please let me know down in the comment section. I don't include it because it's the Steam survey. Basically, I know it's not a representation of all the games and the gamers out there, but I think it was 67% still play at 1080p. And so I figured I'll just go with the biggest metric. But if you want 1440p, please let me know. I will start to include it for sure if people want it. Presentation of data. I changed it up for a reason. One, I want to better represent the gameplay to you as my audience. I want to make sure that the numbers I present to you are realistic in the terms of how the game feels when you play it. As time goes on and as I grow this channel, I'm going to get a much more scientific method for how I test things. Right now, obviously, I use my daily system to test a graphics card out, and then I present to you my daily driver data, which is both good and bad. It's good because you get a representation of what a computer that's got stuff happening on it constantly. You get a representation of what that's actually like. But it's also bad because you don't get a good representation of what a clean install is like for that particular card. There could be other stuff going on in the background of my computer. You know, Steam could be running, obviously, or OBS could be going on, or Discord. Just stuff is happening on my computer that doesn't happen regularly on a fresh install. So that's the bad there. But I hope that I'm giving a good representation of the data because, I mean, hell, everybody has a computer that's probably got a bunch of crap on it anyways. You're doing stuff on it anyways. So I hope that my representation is good enough right now. Over time, I will change that. I will have a system that's just dedicated to graphics cards installs, to graphics card data collecting. That it will happen. For now, though, it's just I just can't do that. What's the next one going to be about? What is it going to be about? I have a couple of videos in mind. Um, First one is I had a question about RAM and RAM usage. So I'm educating myself right now on that and trying to make sure that I fully understand everything that I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to cover over all of it. There is just no way in hell. Just there's so much. There is so much. Um oh, this graphics card here ran into a problem. So we're going to work on that one next. That's another video that'll come up. And oh, I'm going to be moving next weekend, but like this is going to go up on a Monday. So you're literally the Friday of the week that this goes up, I'm going to be moving. So this is going to change. And I don't know exactly how it's going to look in the next area, the next space. So that's really exciting for me. So I'll do some video recording and stuff like that, some behind the scenes sort of stuff. And if you want me to post that up on YouTube or as shorts or whatever, let me know. Let me know. I don't know. I have no idea if anybody even gives a damn whether I'm moving into a house that I'm actually buying. Hooray! So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you understood the reasoning behind me changing up the metrics that I want to present to you. Um, TLDR, better representation of gameplay, gets me in line with the big YouTuber guys, you know, like the Gamers Nexuses and the Nexuses. Wow. The Hardware Unbox fellas. Um, Hell, I'm sure Jay's 2 Cents and Linus, all those guys do that. And they do that for a reason. And I'm sure there's other guys out there, but I know that I need to be able to present to you that data as well. And I need to be able to do it correctly. That's the best way for me to grow this channel the way that I want to grow it, and to also make sure that I don't steer you guys in the wrong direction, because you really should have the best possible representation and presentation of data that I can deliver to you with the stuff I'm working with, obviously. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave any comments, obviously, down in the description, or in the comment section. Duh. And on to the next one, I guess. God. I will get better at outros. I will get better at using a script. I have to practice. It is very new to me. So usually I just swing it. I'm just going for it on these videos. Gosh. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, you rock. Like, so much. Peace.